Hi, friends. So I want to share a couple of dreams I had last week around June 12th. So I believe, June 12th, I had a dream with my dad, and he was we just came out of a restaurant, and it was nighttime, evening. It was dark, and we in a parking lot full of cars, and there's people like getting into their vehicles. So this truck, this F-350, it's a red F-350 we had, and what's weird about this dream is that it was this truck that I had in real life, and it never worked. It was a piece of junk, right? But I could drive it. Don't ask me how I got stuff done, but we always seem to get things done with this truck. But I was thinking I was gonna drive it, but I was in the passenger seat, so I put on my seatbelt. My dad's driving, and he was younger, right? So he's driving it, and he starts going like super fast, and we get to a downtown city, and he's just driving through the intersections, no respect for lights. He does U-E's, he comes back up, he does a right turn, and he's just speeding, and he's not hitting anything, but he's just out of control, just going really fast. And then I get like an aerial view of this ride, and it's kind of like I see like a police officer, he's just waving. There's like no authority, he was just like friendly towards this car. All right, so that was the dream, the red F-350. And so when I had this dream, it was like other dreamers were talking about, like, I think Bonnie had a dream of it was a red pony, and it represented kind of like the red horse of the apocalypse. Like it was just a tiny version, like it was gonna be like a bigger version. But I had the red truck, she had the red pony, and then I believe Shauna from Change Is Coming had also a post regarding the apocalypse, the red horse. All right, so I just wanted to bring that again, post this dream about the red truck. All right, so on June 12th, I remember this date because I had a dream also about the Spy Kids. I don't know if you remember the movie Spy Kids. They had like a sequel. Antonio Banderas was the dad, and Junie, the redheaded, curly hair, freckles. Well, that family, the Cortezes, were coming down out of the sky, kind of like a night like today. You can kind of, there was the sun, there was the moonlight, and it was dark. It was darker than this, but you can kind of tell because of the light there. You can't tell, but so they're coming down, flying out of the sky, and my nephew is with me. And my nephew, he's like 8 years old, and he yells, "Look!" And then, we see them coming down, and I yell towards other family members. I'm like, I just yell, "Hey, like, look!" And then I say, like, "It's the Spy Kids." And then my nephew screams, he goes, "No, those are demons. Do not talk to them. Those are demons." And then when I yell, I'm yelling to like get people like, "Hey, come over here," or whatever, they hear me, and they come towards our direction, and they go like behind us. Like, I'm in the car right now, right? So they go back kind of like by the tailgate or a little bit further. And then I started to pray. Like I was praying, like I was rebuking them in the spirit, right? And then the kid, my nephew, he's just screaming. He's like, he was really serious about it. "Do not talk to them. Do not look at them." He's like, "No, those are demons. Those are demons." So, that was the end of the dream. So afterwards, I'm thinking about how in movies that they're disguised. Literally, demons can be disguised as people, right? But the interesting part of this was that Junie in the movie, he was a young kid. When he first came out, like the number one, he was like a young preteen. And so it just kind of is telling us that demons don't have an age limit. They can possess a body, or they can take over a soul, and it can go as young as who knows how young it can go. I believe Blue Skies, another prophetess, was saying that she believes it could be as early as 3 years old when they're able to determine, to make decisions from right from wrong. And even in the Bible, it talks about how God would destroy everybody, for man and beast, child, boy, girl, everybody. Now, why would he do such a thing if you think about it, Well, anyways, those are pretty powerful dreams. I was thinking about like how we are in the last days. Anything is possible. And, I had one other quick vision. It wasn't like a real dream because I was awake. And it was about, I was a kid. I was playing by a river or a stream with the rocks. And Jesus was there looking at me. And he was looking at me like a father who loves a kid, like who really just has a desire to just do his best for me in that case. And in the dream, I also knew I was misbehaving. I was like a mischievous little kid, and despite of all of what I was doing, kind of like I knew I was misbehaving, he still gave me the look of like a loving father, a caring father. And I know I had that little flash vision, and it was because I was feeling kind of guilty, because I do go and I'm like not perfect, I just kind of like, I'll slip up, I'll go back to whatever sins that I do, and I'm wondering like, why does he still listen to me? I don't know if you guys ever felt like that. Like, why does he care? Why does he keep directing his attention towards me? Or why, if we're all imperfect and we're never like ever gonna be 100% pure, this is what I'm thinking. Like, who is really gonna be wrinkle-free, spot-free, blemish-free, like the scriptures say, when he comes for his bride? It's like, man, that's gonna be something real, that's gonna be a real tough thing to find, when he does come back for his bride. So, but that look that he gave me when in the dream, or in the vision, it brought me to tears. I was like, what? And because I have a daughter, right, and she's a teenager, so I know like how teenagers are. I mean, I was a teenager. Everyone's goes through that phase, but it's difficult. Like right now, like it's difficult for the kids. Satan has a stronghold on the whole like internet, schools, friends. What's being popular, being part of the world is just, it's hard for a kid. But at the same time, it's like if you're a parent and you're trying your best to raise your kid, that's all you can do is just do your best. Like just God do the rest, because it's out of your control, and you just pray every day for your families that they're gonna be okay, that everything's gonna work out according to God's will and your own will, because obviously if you're right with the Lord, you're gonna want to do what's best for your family, and you're gonna want to try and do what's best for the Lord, for your own peace and for your family's salvation. All right, guys, well, those were my dreams. Thanks for listening, and until next time.